Valentine's Day cocktails. Don't you love them? They're red, they're sweet, they're red, they're sweet. Normally, that's what you're gonna find. You might find some champagne cocktails that look really pretty. There are a lot more creative cocktails coming out now from very creative bartenders. And I encourage you to get out there and do some research because there's a lot of great information out there. Not every single Valentine's Day drink has to be sweet. And I'm gonna show you that you can make a very pretty Valentine's Day cocktail, a very eye-appealing drink that doesn't necessarily have to be fruity or sweet or even, who says you can't have a Campari, a nice bitter Valentine's Day drink? Because after all, love can be bitter and sweet, right? And so that's gonna take us into the name of our cocktail. It's called Bittersweet Love. This cocktail is kind of like a milk punch, but not really. So you're gonna find that it's a very interesting cocktail. It's not overly sweet. It's actually really not sweet at all. It's very aromatic. It's gonna have lots of spice notes, and it's going to be very velvety and smooth, but at the same time, it's gonna just it's gonna be kind of that bitterness is gonna kick right here in the back. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It makes sure you look at it and it looks like strawberry quick, but then you drink it and it tastes completely different. So enough talk, let's get to it. Let's begin by going over our ingredients, our mise en place, and what we need to be successful. We have 2 ounces of black tea. Just go get yourself some 100% black tea, brew yourself some tea, get yourself 2 ounces. Chill it if you can. You don't want to do this hot. And then we have a ½ ounce of vanilla syrup. I have a lemon wedge. This is only to rim the glass. So whatever you want to use to rim your glass, go ahead. Whether you want to use syrup or you want to use lime, whatever. I'm just going to use lemon. Anyway, 1 ounce of milk, whole milk. This is also very good with almond milk, if for those of you who don't like milk, okay? We're gonna do some ½ ounce of dry curacao. We're gonna do 1½ ounces of Campari and a ½ ounce of orgeat, okay? So get yourself your shaker. Let's start by, and I'm sorry. Go ahead and get yourself maybe like a ½ cup or a ¼ cup of red sugar, red candied sugar. Yeah, just, for rimming the glass. So what we're gonna do is, first thing, is get your lemon or whatever you're gonna use to rim your glass, and go ahead and do so. Next, go ahead and put your glass. And honestly, I'm just gonna leave my glass right there while I make the cocktail. Next, go ahead and just add your ingredients in, one by one. Start with your non-alcoholic ingredients, vanilla syrup. Next, we're gonna add our milk. Next, we're gonna add our orgeat. I'm using BG Reynolds for this, but you use whatever your favorite orgeat is. I recommend homemade always. Next, a ½ ounce of dry curacao. Let's add our Campari, 1½ ounces of Campari. Now, Campari can be very bitter, but there's so many delicious flavor notes that are in Campari, and if you know how to bring them out with the proper ingredients, man, you can make yourself a great cocktail. The Jungle Bird is one of my favorite Campari cocktails. And if you just like sipping on a little bit of Campari as a digestive or even as an aperitif, I think that it's a win-win either ways. So we have all our ingredients in. Get yourself some ice, get your strainer ready, and let's get to shaking and baking. Get your glass, flip it over, and gently pour your cocktail in. So as you can see, it's really, really pretty. It looks like strawberry milk. It's very eye appealing. You could even take some colored bitters or even some food coloring if you want to. If you want to just add a little bit and kind of draw over the top if you want. If not, I like to decorate these with some nice little Valentine's Day themed skewers. And yes, pay attention at the end. I will do some garnishing and you can see. But before we garnish and start putting things on the top to make it look all pretty, I have to taste this. I gotta just get a little. It tastes nothing like how it looks, which is a good thing. The sweetness on the lips blends really well with the creamy bitterness. And I know that sounds odd, but that bitterness is not alone. It's got like some chocolatey in there. It's got some, you can taste the vanilla notes. You can taste the hint of orange flower water from the orgeat. And it just travels so well from the back palate into your nose. Yeah, there's just the dryness from your curacao blending in with that vanilla. That's also in there very, very nicely. But yeah, the Campari is definitely the star. And for those of you that love Campari, you're gonna love this. So give it a shot. And even if you're not somebody that likes drinks that are bitter or more spirit forward, try this. This is a nice in between. So happy Valentine's Day to you all. May you all have lots of great drinks with great food and most importantly, great people. If you like this episode and you want to see more episodes like this or just other episodes on other things, hit like and hit subscribe, and please tune in for all our adventures with alchemy every week as we're always exploring new and interesting things to do. And yeah, we always love the input and comments. We like to talk and we like to find out what we can do, what are you interested in, and what do you want to see. So yeah, hit us up, join the fam. Mahalo. So it's Valentine, special time of year where we give special gifts to that special someone to show them how much we appreciate, how much we care about them. So one thing that I've learned over the years is that gifts are always just a tad bit more special when they come from the heart. When you do it, well, let me rewind that. All gifts come from the heart. And what better way to show that person, that special someone, that you care about them, that they are just number one, by baking them something delicious or making them something delicious. I mean, come on, who doesn't love food? We think about Valentine's, you think chocolate dipped strawberries, you think edible fruit, that are cut all nice in a bouquet. There's just all kinds of cool little gifts. But you know what people really like? Is when you make it yourself for them, because then they know you took the time to do something. I know what you're thinking, Chris, I'm not this professional cook, I don't do all these things, this seems hard. Trust me, I'm gonna show you a recipe that will not only blow their mind with how good it is, but how pretty it is and how easy it is, okay? So, what we're gonna make here is a red velvet brownie cheesecake swirl. I know, it's a mouthful, but trust me, you're gonna love this. It's actually really simple. It requires just what you see in front of you and of course kitchen equipment. And I promise I'm gonna make this really simple. And you're gonna make this for your loved one and they're gonna be like, what? So, let's begin. Let's start with our mise en place here. We have half a cup of melted butter, make sure it's melted. We have a full cup of sugar. We have 2 eggs. We have 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of cocoa powder, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You're also gonna need some red food coloring, about 1 ounce. This is your brownie mix, okay? This is what we do with our brownies. Over here, we have the cheesecake part. So, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 egg, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and half a teaspoon of vanilla. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, this is a cake pan, 8 by 8, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it isn't. And we're gonna need a skewer, or even just or even a toothpick will work just fine. You're gonna need that for the swirly swirl, all right? So let's get into the kitchen and let's start getting our hands dirty. All right, so to begin our brownies, first thing we do is we're gonna take our butter, and go ahead and take melted butter, pour it on in. Next, take your sugar, cocoa powder, vanilla, and then take a nice beater and slowly beat these beautiful flavors together. I haven't forgotten the eggs. The eggs are coming. Now we can get you gotta get those sides. All right, now that everything is nice and smooth and delicious, you got your red velvet brownie mix. Now we're gonna mix in our flour. Just one more time, scrape the sides, make sure you're not missing anything. Add our flour. And from here, we're going to start folding in our flour. You really gotta take your time doing this because there's gonna be little white clumps and there's some on the side, so you wanna get all of that. You wanna be very thorough with this. Now, you are gonna take a 1/4 cup of this and put it on reserve because you're gonna need it for your swirls. Well, it looks like we had to change pans. The other pan's just way too big. Unless you want to double up your recipe. For this particular recipe, for this amount, get a small one. All right, so let's start scraping. And just putting it in there, and we're gonna smooth it all out. This will rise, so don't worry. Preheat your oven to 350. Now, we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna begin making our cream cheese part. Next, as you probably guessed, we're gonna make our cheesecake frosting. So, get your cream cheese, sugar, vanilla, egg. And just like before, cream as you go, cream away. All right. Now, go ahead and just pour it over the top. And we're gonna spread it. Just spread it on nicely, nice and even. Don't get too rough with it because you don't want any of that red to show on the top until you start creating those swirls. So, at this point, you want to get yourself a small spoon, take bits like this, and just drop it right there. Now, from here, take that little skewer I showed you, and just gently create art. And just do little designs. It's real pretty. And there you go. And you can make your own designs however you see fit. Go ahead and bake it off now. 30 minutes. You're good to go.